Christian couples take their spouse for granted. And I'll tell you why. Because there is a way, knowing that this person will not misbehave no matter what you do. There's a way it affects the negotiation. He can't negotiate. Somebody outside who is an atheist, they say, I want 2 children. You say, only one. Or I don't want at all. You say, okay, then bring someone else in. You said I should talk. Why now doing your face like that? It's no problem. Only one, okay? Or, I've seen many men, for instance, maybe in the dating phase. Ladies, tell me if you have experienced this before. You are giving the guy green light, giving him attention, and he's taking you for granted. Then another man shows up. What's going on? That's when you now sit up. Vim. So sometimes you have a godly woman, and sometimes that's the problem. I want to report a couple in this church. Don't worry, just something. They pulled something on somebody, and I won't lie to you. I'm not saying it was the best way, but it worked. There is this man, he's just been ignoring his wife, not giving her attention. He will cry. His heart strong like this. Born again guy with strong heart. I don't understand. So they called him for dinner, and they put up a sad face. I'm not going to tell you the people that did it, but I might be standing in front of them. So they so they called the guy for dinner, and they put up a sad face. I don't want to ruin it so that they will be able to use this strategy another time in case. So they said, we just want to tell you, please don't freak out. Your wife cheated on you. He said, what? He stopped eating instantly. Why? He said, she's sorry. That's why she called us to tell you. So he was so angry. He said, calm down, now please. So you care? So you care? So why are you treating her like that? When I heard it, I said, nice one, nice. So you care? Just leave a woman and abandon her like that. When was the last time you took her out, bought something nice, gave her an honest compliment? Sometimes it's vice versa. Just see, you take the husband for granted. He's trying, doing his best. He can never do anything right in your eyes. And it's strange. The mystery of the world is this. You see somebody in all their glamour. That same person can have somebody at home that is seeing him finish. So that's why you have to study this subject of emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. Study it. It takes practice to be in a difficult conversation and not switch to your default of manipulation, of throwing tantrums, of crying. You sit still, the details on the table, look at it objectively, disagree in a civil way, fight gracefully, not that both of you will turn to enemies. It takes maturity. You can be tongue speaking and not know it. It was yesterday we had a pastor's training here. Pastor Emmanuel Iren was talking about a pastor, a mega church pastor then. His anger. One day he got angry and kicked his assistant pastor in the scrotum. Oh! I know we can spiritualize things like that. It's holy anger. That don't touch the Lord's anointed. And it's in this part of the world that you get away with things like that. In Sena climbs, they go so anointed. Anointed go pay damages. Let's move on. So as a lady, there are some idiosyncrasies you must watch out for. As a guy, there are some things you must watch out for. There are many today. There are many women who have never really tried to fall in love with their husband. They think they have, but what they actually have been doing is that they are trying to get him to match up to a fantasy image in their mind. They've never really gotten to know this man for who he is. They're trying to fit him into some shoe, secretly comparing him to some great man of God, or even their dad. Jesus, today. Listen, let's talk. Now, let me say this. We talk about the dysfunctions of trauma, bad upbringing. One thing nobody talks about is good upbringing. Even good upbringing can hurt you because your dad treated you like a butterfly, and now every man is in trouble. Meanwhile, the context of the relationships are different. See, one thing about women is they never treat all men the same way. It is true. The same woman you think does not know how to respect, check her in the office. The boss will shout, "You still haven't submitted this," slam the table, bah! Say, "I'm sorry, sir." I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying emotional regulation sometimes depends on the context. When a woman genuinely looks up to a man where grace is present, errors will be limited, will not be as amplified. That's what I mean. And so in the context of the father-daughter relationship is very different. You already look up to the man. So there are some things that the father doesn't even know about you. Sometimes in counseling, the man is telling the father-in-law, your daughter did this. He say, he can't picture it. And he's correct. Because the context is different. In a marriage, a lot of things are involved. You know, I was listening to somebody, oh my God, and I think it was very profound. I think it was by Tony Robbins or something. He was confronting a woman like that. He said, your dad spoiled you. Nobody talks about this. The dynamics of the relationship. In a marriage, there is sex. Sex, whether you like it or not, gives you some leverage, some control. There are some things you can withhold. There are some things you can give. That alone changes the dynamic. Come on, now you get what I'm saying. So, and it works vice versa. You know, tough times create strong men. Strong men create easier times, weak children. Because when you struggle through life and you make it, your sincere desire is that your children never taste what you experience. But you have forgotten that it's those tough times that gave you spine. Haven't you seen sports children? You're just like, This is what your life looks like when it's devoid of abati. You know what I'm saying? What do you call it? Igbati, agbara. You know what I'm saying? How can I explain Agbara for international audience? It's a phenomenon where the surface area of your palm is made to land on your back with intense velocity. I try, Abby. It's better experienced. You have to taste and see. A family without corner eye. You know that legendary African corner eye? Has your dad communicated 3 pages of information with just one look? Yes. And you know that. If you didn't grow up in a home like that, you don't know what I'm saying. You don't know. If they born you well, don't adjust instantly. I've seen a lot of, I'm sorry to say, in those days when they ask what's your pet peeve, I don't know what that is. There are very few things that irritate me. I'm a cool guy, but I've discovered one. I don't like men that don't behave manly, that marry women for money. I can never, I'm sorry, maybe it's a weakness. That you are scheming to collect money from a woman. It's okay to marry a woman who is well-to-do, richer than you. Not only is it okay, it's highly advisable. I go lie for you. You think it's only women that can marry up? Baba, women are not playing. You two don't play. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But can I advise you? Even if she earns 1 billion, there are some things that should be your responsibility. She can add to it, but drop house rent. She can add 90%, but drop it first. Drop it first. Make sure you are dropping money for fees. She can add 300%, 500%, 1000%. Drop it. Add Jesus. I've seen things in this life. See, try to respect yourself, even in your own home. I know what I'm saying. No? There are some things I wanted to say. It's men's meeting. We'll discuss that one. Try to respect yourself. I know what I'm saying. No, not here. Let me just say this. Being a man will never get out of fashion. You see all these things? And it starts from the little things. Even in friendship. I said it on Wednesday. I've seen people play with women as if they are men. You are playing, they punch woman. What's wrong with you? Both of you are on the floor rolling. I say it's a pet peeve. Under the 4-hour hand. As in, be a gentleman with class. Caesar. Package now. I will never depend on my wife for money. Do I expect her to contribute in the house? Yes. Do I expect initiative from her? Yes. Do I expect her to buy things for the children? I plan as if she would not contribute a penny. That's the way I plan. I know sometimes, especially with the economy, especially when you're in countries like the UK or whatever, the economy is so tough that you will need two working people. And I think that's another class, because you see, those dynamics now change something. But at the same time, I plan 100%. See, listen, I don't wait for my wife to complain about some things. If I notice that chores are stressing her, I'm going to get people to help. See, let me tell you something. There is a way you will package. The woman will submit. I'm telling you the truth. What we call submission is the default of women who feel safe. And that's why men also, especially when you're playing your part, don't negotiate to a woman that you're trying your best for and is not, you're still trying to cajole her. Don't waste your time. Have you seen a woman in love? They don't cajole women in love. A woman that is in love will change her name, change her religion, drop out of school. She will relocate. Don't force it. Don't force a woman to say yes, then now be telling her to submit in the marriage. Did you not see? If a woman is not acting right or submitting according to biblical standard, it's either of two things. Check yourself. If you're not making her life easier, I don't mean even financially, serving her. That's the biblical standard of leadership. Serving like Christ. I know what it means to have a father who can literally die for his children. I know what. I started noticing it from when I was a child, because when I was very, very little, my dad was well-to-do, and then things started happening. In fact, before I could know about well-to-do, everything was spoiled. So it's the stories my siblings told me. So and I look at them and judge them, so when I squander everything. So, anyway, but you see, the man, when things got tough, he rose to the occasion. See, Jesus. I can flash back to many things. Not just him, my mom too, Many things that the man did. I'll never forget in JS2, sitting in the class, and my friend pointing out of the window, "That's your dad." What's my dad doing it? Because things had gotten tough. We were already in a very expensive private school. He had two choices: to make us drop out or to find a way. He went there behind my back. He didn't even tell me he was coming, and he didn't come and greet me. He went to the principal. "Listen, I'm just going through a rough patch financially. This is a letter of undertaking. I will pay the fees. Don't disturb the boy." Not that I know things are tough, but some men are not trying. Just sit that home.